it's Jennifer with Jennifer at Home, and I'm so excited you joined me today because today we are going to be making some sausage rolls for New Year's Eve. We discovered these sausage rolls many years ago. I don't even want to say how many years it was because it was that long ago. But my husband and I were living in England at the time, and we loved living there and going to the markets on the weekend. It was so much fun. Rain or shine, we would bundle up and go out and walk through the markets and look at all of the wonderful things they had for sale and all the great things, meet so many nice, interesting people. And they always had a booth, at least at the one we went to, that sold sausage rolls. And they were just delicious. We absolutely loved them, and I've always wanted to make them. Well, recently I came across a recipe for the sausage rolls that seemed pretty comparable to the ones we used to get at the market. And I thought I would share this recipe because it's just that delicious. And this is everything we're gonna need to make these wonderful sausage rolls. We'll need 1 pound of ground sausage. I'm gonna use Jimmy Dean hot sausage, but you could use any kind you'd like. We'll need 1 egg to mix into this mixture. We'll also need 1 egg and 1 tablespoon of water to mix up together and brush on the top of the puff pastry before we bake it. We'll need 1/2 cup of breadcrumbs, and we'll need some spices. We'll need 1 tablespoon of parsley, a teaspoon of garlic powder, a teaspoon of onion powder, and a teaspoon of oregano, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and we'll also need a pinch of pepper. I've already mixed those in the bowl so they're ready to go. And of course, we'll also need 2 sheets of puff pastry. The first thing we're gonna do is mix the egg and sausage. Then we're gonna add in all of our dry seasonings, and we're gonna add in our breadcrumbs once we get this all mixed together. All right, now let's mix in the breadcrumbs. And there it is. Now let's get our puff pastry ready. I've just put a little bit of flour on this cutting board. I'm gonna spread it all around, and then I'm gonna put the puff pastry down. This way it'll keep it from sticking. I'm gonna roll the puff pastry just a little bit thinner. Be sure to follow the instructions on the package about thawing the puff pastry. We want it to be thawed just about the right temperature so that it's not too warm or not too cold to work with. I'm gonna spread it just a little thinner, and then I'm gonna cut down the fold lines. As you can see, we have 2 fold lines. I'll cut down the fold lines and cut this in to 3 different pieces. I've cut both packages of pastry. There are 2 different rolls in each box, so I've cut each one into thirds. And now I'm gonna make a long roll of sausage and put right down the middle of each one. So I've taken 1/2 of the sausage. I divided the big ball of sausage in half. I took 1/2 of it and divided it into thirds. I rolled it out and just put a nice long layer, the full length of the puff pastry sheets. Now I'll do the second batch. And the second batch is done. Now the next thing to do is just take the puff pastry, fold it right over the sausage, and just seal the edge up. Just pinch it together at the very edge. I'm just pressing the 2 edges together, just like that. And then I'm gonna roll it over so that we'll have no seam showing. The seam side will be down, and we won't have a big dry seam once it bakes in the oven. I'll go on to the next one. Now I've cracked the second egg into a little bowl with a tablespoon of water. I'm just gonna whisk it up with a fork. And then we're just gonna take a little silicone pastry brush and just brush the top of the puff pastry. This will give it a nice golden crispy texture and a beautiful shine. Now at the market they would serve the sausage rolls just like this, a great big long sausage roll, and it was wonderful for a lunch or for a meal. But we're going to cut ours into smaller portions since these are an appetizer that we're going to serve at our New Year's Eve party. Now that we've taken the brush and brushed on the egg mixture, we're going to take a knife and we're going to cut each of these logs into 2-inch portions. And then we'll take our knife and we'll come back and we'll score the top of it. We'll put 2 score marks on the top of each one. I've put the sausage puffs on a big baking tray with parchment paper, and I've spread them out 2 inches apart. Now on to the next tray. Our oven is preheated to 425. We'll put these in and let it bake for 20 minutes. And here's how the puffed big sausage rolls turned out. They are absolutely delicious, and they're really great served with mustard. You can even serve them cold, and they're just as good. I'm so happy that you were here today. I really appreciate those of you who have subscribed, and if you haven't subscribed, I would love for you to do so and hit that little bell button, and that way you'll get a notification whenever I have a new video coming out. And don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. I hope you'll try these sausage rolls and realize just how easy and how delicious they are. They'll make a really great appetizer too.